The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned. Ask him what question?
Was that Duke's helmet from Metro?
No, this is just this is just your basic Spartan Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what kind of helmet? What does it look like again?
You want me to put it back on or just?
I say that because I made us go live mid conversation. So.
Oh. There you go. It's
beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, beautiful.
Beautiful. It is like Russian potato.
Welcome.
Good for everything.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
To the mystery of the Silver Fleet. We begin episode 1. There were several episodes before this one that were done off camera, but this was mostly campfire sessions and getting to know each other. I'll do a brief intro here for the audience, and then we will begin. So, get to my page here. That's a lot to read. Okay. The verse so far, the wars and the crusades, as well as the independence of the Vect, have all happened. However, in this tale of the verse, humans are the newest civilization to arrive. It was clearly an arrival and not an advancement like the other species of the verse. Hailing from a far-off system called the Milky Way, the humans fled their system hoping to escape their galactic nemesis, Replacers, a cybernetic species of their own unfortunate creation. These monstrosities of science see all living beings simply as spare parts to create more of their own kind with. When the humans arrived in the verse, their enemy followed. At least, that is how all the other species of the verse see it. None really know the truth, however. They do know nobody has done more to broker peace and communication through the verse than humanity. For this, most species, while distrustful of humans, do appreciate them trying to make a better verse. The humans created all manner of communications arrays throughout the verse, one of which was a major communications space called the ECU, or the Elven Communications Array, named because it was made using Elven technology. Predating even the humans' arrival, however, was the discovery of some ancient human megacorporation. That they did make it to many parts of the verse, a megacorporation that many empires today covet the technology of almost as much as they fear it. Megacorporation known as Redlock. The name is so well associated with secret technology that everybody in the verse has a story to tell about a Redlock base or technology. However, this makes actually finding a Redlock base or a piece of tech very difficult. The team begins on a cruise liner ship traveling around a local red dwarf system in the Virgo supercluster galaxy, which is where the campaign takes place. The cruise liner is the SSL Pre Starliner class, piloted by Captain Lustor Cobble, an aged dwarf who usually spends his time drunk, even when piloting the ship. The ship is equipped with all the luxuries one could ask for. However, these luxuries came at a cost of most of the ship's capacity for freight, and most of the other systems many luxury liners have, including the most important one, scanners. However, this may be how you have ended up on this ship. Maybe it was the discount prices that were too low to pass up. Or maybe it was the free tickets that were given away as contest prizes at several local stations. Either way, you ended up on the top floor of the luxury liner. Only a few cabins are up here with yours. As the last of the cabins filled, you had a chance to meet each other. You had a little bit of a party as well. The ship's upper deck luxury cabins all meet in a central luxury pool bar area, served by a printer capable of replicating any drink or food item imaginable. You all had awakened after the aftermath of your rousing party. Dr. Penoble, you discovered, was gone. It appears to have left his room open. You know why the ship's silent, and you do not feel it moving. Something seems wrong. You had time to talk to each other and get to know each other you were stuck on the cruise ship with. You also met the friendly awakened swarm of nanites from an alternate dimension known as A163RT, or Alert. The sealed hatch is now clearly open, revealing the very silent rest of the ship. The emergency lighting is off, and the ship's normal powered systems all appear to be working. The printer and many other things on the top floor all appear to be working fine, except the robotic bartender, who seems completely deactivated.
Oh.
A163RT is also gone as you awaken from your night's slumber. You assume back to the lower levels of the ship to continue doing what he told you he was doing down the reactor. Whatever you want to identify it as, because it's a swarm of intelligent robots. And that is where you're at right now. Deborah, you were asleep for a while. After that thing impacted with the ship, some grave feeling came over you and you needed to meditate. And the result of that medication was an extended nap. So you awaken and you have absolutely no clue why everyone else is standing out in the main room. And you didn't even know the emergency lights were ever on. Because you had a party and then woke up like days later.
All right, Deborah just comes crawling out of here, I guess, and just sees you all there, and doesn't interfere with what you're doing because she seems to be very recluse anyway. And she goes to where she thinks her station's at, which is the captain's, by the captain's side up on the ship. So the power's out and stuff.
You don't even know that it was. It does look like the robotic bartender that was serving you drinks and stuff is kind of like just hanging there deactivated.
It slumbers like a morbid bear during the colder seasons. And Deborah goes over to the robot and just like, with one of her really long talons, just like pokes it.
It just kind of lurches. Doesn't really seem to... It's like whatever was powering it is just completely powered down. You don't see any blinking lights on it or anything telling it's like out of power or deactivated. It just looks like it's not working.
Is there a reason to be meeting in this certain area all at once? Like Space Buffalo at a watering hole.
So let's hang on. We got told this was we got hit by the replacer thing, right? Just confirm. The ship was impacted by a replacer.
The ones without forms of their own. She puts a talon up to her teeth and she starts using the talon as a toothpick. Wedging out little bits of bug. There's like little like legs and stuff, which she normally eats. I don't know what the printer makes in terms of bugs, but that's what she always gets from it.
It makes random bug parts. Sometimes the whole bug. Based on the level of organic scrap.
Well, we're actually about to head down and see if we can find any survivors.
All right. You head down one level. The level below yours is... This area is far from luxurious. It houses simple corridors and housing. The area converges on a central staircase leading down to the dining hall below this. The area has rooms to house some 119 passengers, the robotic crew. If you search this area thoroughly, maybe there's some things left in some of these other cabins. Many of them are open and unlocked.
Deborah will go look in and just passively look in here. Her past perception's only 11, so she probably wouldn't see anything going past these. She's just looking for any bodies, so to speak. You know, like if anyone's dead or alive or what have you.
You see absolutely positively no signs of any struggles and absolutely no blood or bodies or any living person anywhere. A cursory glance with your passive perception of 12 reveals there's clearly no one here.
This is more quiet than a tomb. At least tombs have bodies that which lay in the beds. Looks back at the rest of the room.
They sure do. I'd like to make an active search on these rooms.
Yeah, I think can I investigate,
Okay.
See if you find anything interesting?
How many people are actively searching? Just raise a hand on camera.
That doesn't quite work for me, but
Or state that you are. Sorry, Eisen, Zora. I forgot you don't have cameras.
What is the power situation? Are the lights on, or is it emergency lighting?
No, looks like normal lighting.
All right, then I'll be actively searching too.
Okay.
And Nox will just keep a lookout there, looking around if there are anything or anyone approaching. So
Okay.
that's what they'll do.
You keep an eye out at the only way someone could get, or something of any kind could get to this area, which is the staircase leading down to the dining hall. The dining hall just as deathly silent as this room you're in now. So, those of you searching, one of you, and I will choose at complete randomness, we're going to go ahead and start with Eisen. You find a cabin that contains a sealed briefcase, as well as looks like somebody left some hacking tools in here as well on the end table.
All right, am I able to open the case?
With your armor, you could easily just pull it apart, because metal hands give you that advantage with, fabric-y briefcases. It contains a full set of formal clothes, very formal-looking clothing, super fancy, high-dollar stuff. Nothing you think a normal passenger would wear.
I'll make a note of it, but I don't think it's going to be useful on a planet, so I'll just take the hacking gear.
Yeah, you're pretty sure the clothing and the briefcase are pretty useless. Pretty much, if it's less than a gold piece, you can get it for free.
The clothing, what does it look like it's fitted for? Is it like for someone tall and thin? Or is it someone
It looks to be a
quadruple
two-armed
X?
humanoid of some sort. It looks as though they probably also have 2 legs. Standard humanoid assortment.
Okay, so this is
nothing
like
fancy.
So this is like Saiyan outfits where it just shrink wraps to their body.
Yeah, kind of looks like, right. It would be adjustable to some degree, but it's very formal clothing.
Okay.
Again, completely at random with no particular assignment to whoever. We'll go with cabin number 2 of interest is Meriel. The cabin you search contains several expensive-looking dresses and matching formal wear, as well as several non-combat worthy shoes. We'll go with high heels and stilettos. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand some women can wear them in combat. This particular brand of them is not usable in combat.
They're not reinforced heels.
They're not Bayonetta heels, got it.
Correct. They are held together very crappily. You wouldn't want to wear them in combat. It also has a very expensive bottle of Spalcohol in the room, Nebula 46R, a good brand.
Nice.
And the bottle also looks expertly crafted.
Okay.
Alcohol is, for those of you not aware, is a term you will heard used a lot in this campaign. It is alcohol harvested from nebulas in space. They found several large nebulas in the galaxy as well as some other areas, quite literally made of drinkable alcohol. So they filter them through some filters, and it has its own unique flavor, unlike any alcohol they've ever created. Whole nebulas of it.
You all
It's sci-fi and awesome.
You all hear in your minds as Deborah's just casually walking through this hallway very slowly. Her singing in your minds gently about the serene quiet. Like, and it's some poem about how it's like when the first rays of the star hit the white sands of the moon. Something like that. But it's almost like humming telepathy. It's very quiet.
All right. Again, in no particular order, Noelle, you find a very interesting cabin of interest. This cabin has a cred stick in it worth 100 credits, aka 100 gold, and nothing else seems to be of interest. However, you do manage to find 5 of such rooms, similar to this one in your search. Now, I should say, you found a lot of rooms. As you're searching, you search quite a few rooms. I'm picking out ones you found that actually have useful things in them. So, this is surely at random. So that's a total of 500 credits.
Nice. No, it's just like, and I'll just put those away for later. I'm sure no one will miss them.
Zora, did you say you were searching?
Yes.
Okay. You find 2 interesting cabins. Each of these cabins contains three very strange bottles. Similarly, I do have one. Similarly shaped to this one. In fact, it says this on it. And there are 3 of these gallon-sized bottles in each of these cabins. So you find a total of 6 of these bottles of Terran whiskey, whatever or whoever Jack Daniels was. But somebody brought them here. It's 3 gallons, or a total of, what did I say, 6?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
6 bottles.
6 gallons of whiskey.
Good
Is
lord.
that worth more than spalcohol just because it's from a specific planet?
Yes. Yeah, it is worth more than... It would be considered a very fine spirit, simply because it's not bountiful everywhere. It's from a specific planet that may or may not be capable of being generated again.
So kind of like getting wine from grapes grown in Spain, kind of thing, like that level of like gourmet, I guess.
Yeah.
So I will gladly put those away. In
All
my
right.
pack.
Who else was searching that I missed? Okay. Talurra, you find another interesting set of cabins. Each of these cabins contain a well-crafted spacesuit that belongs to some sort of space station service center. There's 2 different cabins that contain 2 of these suits each, so you have a total of 4. They are the equivalent of armor in the book, called nanofiber vests, but they are protected from they give you vacuum protection. So if you're in a vacuum situation, you will be protected from the vacuum situation. However, they do not protect you from anything else. For the record, if I say it's highly radioactive in this area, you are not protected from such. Just the vacuum of space.
I turned to it real quick. Nanofiber vest is pretty much equivalent to leather armor. It's 11 plus your dex mod.
Yeah.
All right, so you found a total of 4 of those altogether.
Mhm.
Was anyone else searching?
I think that's everyone.
You know what? I'll search. Why not?
All right.
Since everyone seems to have interest here, I might as well search. I got 17 perception.
Okay. You search the last cabin of interest, as I happen to have exactly one left, so I was really hoping someone chimed in. All right, so the last cabin of interest here on this floor, out of the 119 cabins, only 12 of them were of any interest. Some of you got lucky and some of you didn't. But, you know, maybe you got lucky in your own way with whatever you found. This particular cabin Deborah found, however, seems to be filled with the most amount of loot. So, yay for Deborah, but also maybe not yay, because she doesn't like any of this stuff. So there are 2 life suits in here, 2 extra ones anyway, I should say. There are 2 swarm pistols, several old looking metal swords made of some strange alloy. They're the equivalent of scimitars in the D&D book, standard PH scimitars. But they are designed to look like sabers, so like cavalry sabers. They look like a cavalry saber. There's 2 of them in finely crafted sheaths, and they look to be made of some very weird alloy. You've not seen this material before.
Can I attempt to see the past of this craft of the blade? I would like a history check on these.
Oh, yes.
See like where they're from, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I didn't do that good. I only got 13.
13 reveals these blades look as though they were probably made of Avera craft.
Oh,
They look to be perhaps used by some sort of holy warrior at some point.
noticing that, I don't touch them. I'm like, ew, gross.
They don't particularly look as though they themselves were holy. Maybe at one point they were used by one, but clearly whoever owned this room did not have that intent with them.
Well, even Ra worship the sun. No, thank you.
You also find a strange metal disc, about shaped like this, in this room.
Please tell me it's not platinum.
No.
Thank you. Okay.
The game was rigged from the start.
It is not.
Ring a ding ding, baby.
It looks as though you could attach it to clothing or to a piece of your chitin. You could just kind of like clip it on there. You're not really sure how this works though, or what it is.
I do that.
Okay. By putting it on,
I die.
it
Yay.
activates itself. You are covered with a strange shield of energy. Add 15 temporary hit points to yourself once per day. This works.
Oh.
As long as you have it clipped to yourself.
I see myself glowing, and I don't like it, and I immediately take it off, and I throw it off towards the bed.
Okay.
Only bug people. Something beneficial. Ew.
It clips to the bed mattress sheet a little bit because of how you threw it, and the bed glows slightly.
The bed has shielding.
Here's a nice magical / technological item that is really good for first level characters because it prevents you from instantly dying to a fucking goblin. Yeet!
Yep. All right. That's
Deborah's
all you
head.
found
Deborah's head
individually.
would peek out, and without saying a word, anyone that would be within 60 feet would hear, I believe I have found an item of arcane value.
Let me see who's next to you. Nox and Meriel. You hear her say that.
I was thinking telepathy because then, like, walls wouldn't be as much of an issue.
Which is funny because
everyone
Nox
else is,
also
like,
has
quite a
telepathy.
distance away.
Nice.
Even though hers is shorter range, she currently only has 10 feet to anyone, and she needs to do an action to mind link herself with someone.
Still nice to have.
Yeah.
Arcane.
Since you
interest,
mentioned
say.
arcane value, and Nox is a specialist in that kind of stuff.
Big old nerd.
He has a degree in everything.
Nerd.
You not, but she does.
I believe
Yes,
you
that
are,
makes sense.
as the bipedals classify you as a nerd.
Yes, I am. What did you find?
That. And I point towards the glowing bed.
She points towards a bed that appears to have a strange disc clipped to the sheet. Also in the room, you notice 2 sabers made of a strange alloy you've never seen before, 2 swarm pistols, and 2 life suits. You also notice that to get into this cabin, she had to jimmy the door. And by jimmy, I mean tear off.
By tear off, it's like one talon just wedged itself in there.
The door looks pretty badly damaged.
Nox will walk over to the glowing bed and try and figure out why the bed is glowing. I don't know if I see the clip thingy.
I would point at the
What's your
clip
passive
thingy.
perception?
Garbage, if I remember correctly. One moment. Oh no, wait, it's actually not that bad. It's 14.
You notice it. You notice a small pin about shaped like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally like clipped to the bed sheet. You think you could probably take it off.
Yeah, I try to reach for it or see if it I get stopped.
You manage to find a way to knock it off of the bed sheet, and then the whole bed stops glowing, and then you can just pick it up.
In subtitles, you see nervous Skathári clicking.
You're not sure exactly what this does, but you're pretty sure you've seen similar devices to this one. It creates a temporary shield around the user, which grants them a small amount of shielding. It counts as shielding, which means you get 15 extra bonus temporary hit points, but it's considered shielded. You're considered shielded in that sense. So anything that a shield effect would block would also be blocked by your shield.
Like the spell
Yes,
shield.
just like the spell shield.
I assume I don't also get the 5 additional AC.
No, you do not. Just the 15 extra hit points.
God, that would be ridiculous.
Right.
This
Oh,
is
that's a neat
quite
little thing.
useful. Could I actually try and figure out what exactly this is, since I am...
Meriel, you, being a bounty hunter, recognize that those sabers were a bounty that someone collected. That was probably taken off someone who this person killed. You also recognize the insignia on the swarm pistols. You know the assassin these belonged to. He's quite legendary.
Oh, I think I might want those pistols then, just
Okay.
to say I have them.
Talurra would
I
also probably
killed.
head over.
I killed the Waco kid.
Those
Talurra
are,
would head over, but probably slower than everyone, the other two so far.
I believe those are talents of the Avenbra. Pointing at the swords. They can be very dangerous.
Which is why they were a really good prize for that bounty. I think I'll pick up the sabers and the pistols.
All right. You have 2 sabers made of a strange alloy, and the 2 swarm pistols bear the mark of Chrombopulus Michael.
Nice.
Taking every weapon there. Jeez. So selfish.
I like the mix
Meryl.
of fantasy name and then just normal name. It's just like, concerning Dora, Bob.
And it's also a
I'm gonna
reference
keep
to
the
something
shielding
if
clip.
anyone catches it.
Ah,
Oh boy, here we go killing again.
Thank you. You get an inspiration point.
As Talurra comes back, she kind of is like, I found some spacesuits if anyone needs them.
Oh, neat.
And you also notice that, like I said, there's 2 extra life suits in this room too. You guys have some on, but you know that if you take any damage, the life suit will tear and be useless.
Are they easy to pack up and store with us?
Oh yeah, the life suits are super tiny. They basically fit into a package like this size.
Ah, well, yeah, let's pick
Yeah,
those up.
definitely pocket
Yeah.
those.
They
So
weigh only a few ounces, which is why they tear very easily.
Yeah. That's it. Mara would see Talurra definitely eyeing the sabers you have on your wherever you kept them.
I imagine it's like one of those anime situations where they're like
It's
both
just
on my
one in
back.
either arm. You're like, I didn't even
Yep.
think I can draw them this way, but they're back.
It sure looks cool.
because
Yeah,
the
it looks
Aven
cool.
Ra are Egyptian, I like to imagine they look Kopesh-like.
They look kind of like Kopeshi, yeah, but they're treated as cavalry sabers in as far as their craft goes,
Mhm.
which function like scimitars in the book, mechanically. Slashing only, etc., etc. They're considered light weapons. They can be dual wielded. Blah blah blah. These particular ones have an insignia on the handle as you pick them up and taken a closer look.
Did you want to geek out about this bounty with me, Talurra?
Not much about bounty hunter myself, but I have a question. Where is she keeping the pistols? Because if it was an assassin, Talurra might actually recognize that, however.
Do you have them just on your belt, like on the other side, like, oh heck yeah, I got them both, or did you pack them away?
Oh yeah, they're
Okay. You get a perception check to notice the insignia, and then I'll let you roll history to determine if you know who it is.
Perception, I got a 19. History, I got a 24.
You know of the legendary Chrombopulus Michael. He has been and is probably one of the greatest assassins that many people have seen.
Potentially was.
Potentially was in this particular instance. You're not sure.
Yeah, you see Talurra just kind of freeze up when she sees the pistols.
You do notice that she perks up when she sees the pistols on either
Yeah.
side.
I pick one of them up and do like a little flourish and hold out the handle to her. Want to take a look?
Yes. Talurra immediately kind of just takes it and just kind of admires it. 'Cause she's not much of a ranged fighter, but God, big old nerd about that kind of shit.
You do notice that these pistols are very finely crafted and are very, very well balanced. That you could flourish with them quite easily, and it would also be functional as well as look.
I just love the idea of someone getting their pistols so well perfectly tuned for just doing cool shit to look awesome while doing
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
You also
Try
notice
that.
that the pistol
6
handles
shots.
are made so that people with fingers or claws could, or even talons of some kind, could hold them.
Now I think of it, I
Made
got
that multiple hand shapes could hold them.
TMNT for hands, the 3-digit thing.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even her hands could hold them if she did not immediately hate them because it was technology.
And if her talons didn't go out to like here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
It's like having really long nails and trying to use a
Also,
gun.
question: Does anyone want one of those spacesuits? Just so I can. If not, I'll just keep them in my inventory. If so, then I can remove parts of them from my inventory.
You do know that you could store them on the top floor as well,
Mhm.
because the top floor is the escape pod,
All right.
if you remember.
All right. Actually, that might be a good idea. Just to keep one on. Talurra would actually look to Meriel and say, "You might want one just in case we have to go through space."
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because we did say that we are the sneaky ones here.
So you do
Absolutely.
know one of the paths you could take to get to the lower level of the ship. You do know you need to get down to the storage bays of the ship. You need to get all the way down to the storage bay of the ship. Go like this so you can see it a little better. All the way down to the storage bay down here
Jeez.
of the ship. To the 7th floor, down, as it were. There are 2 paths there. One, through the inside of the ship, which might involve moving some wreckage because, yeah, something crashed into the middle level, the control room level. Also, it would involve getting past the replacer somehow if you went inside the ship. You did, however, find a gaping hole in the side of the ship where the replacer's pod crashed into that you could go outside of to bypass where the replacer is and just go in the lower hangar, because there's an outside release hatch for the lower hangar. So you do know you could do that as well. So there are 2 paths down there. One involves possibly bypassing the replacer, and the other one definitely involves probably going through it or attempting to sneak past it.
We'll keep these just as a spare, just in case. And she'll kind of just store them and hand back the pistol.
Thank you.
She's still definitely
I,
eyeing those sabers, though. She's like,
I don't think I need 4 weapons. Would you like the swords?
yes.
I'm just imagining at some point Noelle just like pops her head out from like down the corridor. Hey guys, I found some money. Do you
What?
want some money?
Yes.
Always.
Okay, I got like 5 of these stupid sticks. I don't know what to do with them.
Oh, sticks? And I like flutter over.
Not that kind of.
They're definitely not the kind of sticks you were interested in, Deborah, upon closer inspection.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Deborah at all times has a quarterstaff, but it functions more like a witch's staff, so it's all crooked and
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks radical.
So you need to know what the cred sticks look like. They look like a tiny plastic USB drive.
Oh, those sticks are of no use to me.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
So you may hear me say credits or cred sticks. That's what I'm referring to. Any item from the PH that is less than a gold piece is made for free by printers as long as you have the material to make it, which I'm going to count as what's called mineral scrap, which is metals and rocks and crap.
Do my senses deceive me, or do I sense alcohol nearby?
Oh my god.
You also sense a very strange alcohol you've never sensed before.
On their pictures, they got like these 2 weird feather things, and I like to think they're like axolotls, and it's just like that's their smell. So I do like the cat ear twitch, but with the feathers, and head towards it.
You head towards Zora first, who is currently walking around with 6 of these packed to the top with some strange brown liquid. That's the scent you've never sensed before. Like a bloodhound, you can smell it through the bottle, though. The
Guess I should've
plastic
tried to
lid
hide
doesn't
those.
hold the scent in from you.
Deborah just stares at you. Just walks up and stares at you.
And I
Sorry.
promptly walk away.
As I must say, Zora, you were actually like holding 6 gallons of whiskey.
As you're walking away, you hear Deborah in your mind say, Like one of the pack animals on Tesseract number 13, I would be able to carry your burdens for you, if need be. One with the mask.
And the
Zora, I
bacon.
imagine you're going back to the cabins to put them up there safely.
Changer of elements.
Yeah, if they're that bulky, not easily
Yeah,
carried
yeah.
around, then yeah.
You imagine carrying around something as heavy as a gallon of milk, only it's in glass and it's holding alcohol. And it's a giant square that's impossibly difficult to hold safely if you have like 6 of them.
I'm kind of a space centaur.
Every,
Is that 4 legs?
every time Zora moves at this point, it's just clink.
Yeah, it's just glass, like as you're walking upstairs. You safely put them away upstairs, Zora, I'm assuming in a blanket or something so they don't jostle around.
Preferably.
There's plenty of spare blankets in Dr. Penoble's room, who is not here, so you're pretty sure he's not going to need his blanket.
That would fall right within my character's.
Much like he doesn't need his tablet.
Which
He's not
was
getting
already
it.
pilfered by somebody else.
He's
Bye,
not getting
Meriel.
it back.
Oh, I know. That's what makes it funny.
All right. That's it for this floor, though. This particular floor looks as though there's some robotic ports in it where robots could plug into. You're assuming that certain robots, even the bartender of some sort, could plug into this room if they need to recharge or download any information changes of any kind. Usually the batteries on these things last a long time, but on occasions, they need to recharge. So they get brought back to this little bay area here on this floor to recharge. It looks as though it could recharge potentially 8 additional robots more than just the bartender. It's a specific nook for the bartender, of course, because it doesn't have legs. It just moves around in the pool.
just mid pour on like a super complex mixed drink. We have updated our terms of service. Please plug in now to update.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much the level of inconvenience you would expect from old robots like this that aren't wirelessly connected. You're pretty sure that Captain Lustor Cobble got these robots at a discount.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody wants to plug robots in anymore.
I need to
All right.
upgrade to Windows 10.
Yeah, he's currently using Vista.
Oh God, no.
I feel called
so
out
by
here.
comparison. If you need a comparison, he's on Vista and everyone else is on Windows 10. It's the same reference.
I know someone like that.
All
Or I knew someone like
I'm-
that.
That's
I-
it for this floor of the ship.
Yeah.
There
I'm
is
no
a
longer
dining
on
hall
7.
below you.
So I was gonna kind of look at it. Should we try and scout out first, just in case there's replacer? Should look to everybody kind of as a whole here.
I mean, if we can find a computer, I could try and hack into the security systems if there are any.
Speaking of which, you're the techie. I found some hacking gear.
Oh shit! Really? Let me see that.
There you go.
Oh, thank you very
This
much.
is a
she-
PX9 D37 hacking gear. This is premium stuff. You've not seen
Oh.
hacking gear this high quality in a while.
you see Noelle's eyes light up and she starts to drool.
I think that might void the warranty.
Oh, don't do that.
I broke it. Fuck.
What happened?
Rolled too much on it.
No, I was trying to write it into my gear and it didn't want to work. But Noelle will hand you one of the credit sticks she found as a trade for the hacking gear.
All right. Eisen, you may add 100 credits to your character sheet.
Deborah pulls out a shard of glass that looks like it's some poorly made lens, and she holds it between 2 talons, and she seems to look into it into some light that's not there, looking pretty much at the wall with it. And she's going to cast World Seek with it. And World Seek is a mega spell, meaning I can only cast it in space. So
Awesome.
it's going. Oh, thank you for the follow, Ashley G. And it describes that the range is pretty much infinite because It reveals the path to the nearest planetoid, planet, or moon from our current location. And I would know the exact distance.
The distance of, failing orbit is where you're currently at from an ocean planet. Your spell reveals that is a fastly reducing number. That the distance that planet is away is shrinking rather rapidly. You suspect that this craft will fall to the surface of the planet or attempt re-entry, whether you're on it or not, in a week.
Is there like a map, or does that have a map of the ship?
You know that Nox hacked a terminal in the quarters above the luxury cabins and made it so that you can kind of see some of the rest of the ship. Yeah.
Right. I would confirm.
It's a basic
with them.
layout, though. It doesn't kind of like show you the picture of the rooms, but it gives you like a basic layout.
I would get with them and see about a way to of a path to start scouting a path ahead.
All right.
I keep concentration on this for an hour just in case it changes within the next hour.
Okay. You notice it is changing ever so slowly by the hour.
Yeah. I mean, not so like we don't get like a Majora's Mask moon suddenly gets picked up on my radar or
yeah,
something.
It's not moving that fast, but it's like, you're in decaying orbit. So,
okay.
Nox, you assist Eisen in bringing up a map on the in the luxury cabins on the terminal you hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Because you hacked the terminal up there, and you managed to bring up a map of the ship. So you know that this is where you are, here in the luxury cabins, that this is the cabins there below with the crew. This is the dining hall. Excuse my very poor chicken scratch. And then below this, you have the visual suites where there's a lot of holographic projectors and some virtual reality simulators and stuff there that you could use. This is the control room, which you see the version of it not on my drawing, but yours looks like a completed control room. It's all there, perfectly intact. But you do know that A163RT told you that's where the impact was. Below that, you see the Dark Matter drive room. You see below that the what did I say? Oh, this is the spa. There's a spa room, and then you see the storage room, the last floor you need to get to for the ejection pod release.
Is the storage room also where any cargo we could loot it? Okay, so
Yeah,
that'd be trying.
there's a ton of cargo down
route
there,
to
too.
there.
Mm-hmm. I forgot if I asked this, but do we know if there are any other ships or something like that on board?
No.
And we also don't know the specific location of the harvester.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why Talurra was making the suggestion of maybe we scout ahead with a smaller group so we don't risk detection.
We can never be too careful here.
You, like I stated before, for reference of how much people are scared of these things, you have heard stories of them taking multiple rockets to the face and standing back up again. These things are not something you want to mess with unless you're fairly certain you're prepared for a heavy fight.
Great risk can come at great reward.
Talurra just kind of look around. I think that she'll point to Meriel. Her and I would be best to move, scout out, because I think we're the quietest.
I agree.
Like the void.
Go ahead.
You are quiet like the void cats from Andromeda 7.
You've heard of those
think-
cats.
Sure.
They're very quiet.
I think Zora could assist with that as well.
All right.
Proficiency in stealth.
I'm really waiting for you to say Omicron Persei 8, Scotty.
It's gonna slip sometime, I will say.
At one point. All right. She'll look and say, we go from floor to floor, then call the others over. Sound like a plan? Just so that and she'll look to the others.
Do we have some kind of communications device? Like...
Talurra points to Deborah.
Yeah, I meant more like in something like...
Like
I-
a phone or something.
I'm not.
Like a
A,
phone or something.
I'm not
Noelle,
Yelling at the
capable.
tops of our voice.
I'm not
Noelle,
capable of
give me a
speaking.
technology check.
Okay. I'm good at those.
I am not
Because-
able of speaking with the mind at certain at a
I
range.
took one of the
further
dark
than
matter
you.
specific like starting packs, and it has a comm device in it. So I don't know who else might have one of those. A comm
Wouldn't
set
my,
is what it's called.
my suit have a comm system in it?
Your suit does, yes, Eisen.
I got a 23 for technology.
You could hack some sort of communications array together using the comm device that Nox has and the
Okay.
life suits.
Cool. I mean, I also have one of the things I have is vent tape and elbow grease, so I can make it work as long as I'm concentrating on it.
Grease at the elbow. A great alchemical component.
Like, yeah, Noel's like, oh, I can whip us something up if you don't mind lending me that comm gear you have there.
Sure.
Well, thank you.
She hands you that. Colliloquie.
Yeah, she'll just patch together something with the comm
Okay.
gear and one of the life
With your
suits.
technology check, you managed to hack something together through the life suits. While it would be something you would have to kind of like pin down, everyone could communicate if you've got it activated. And this would basically allow for ranged communication. It would also work with the communications gear in Eisen's armor.
Suit, okay.
So we're going to break up in two groups, one recon and the other one bringing up the rear.
Backup.
Do you
One
want me?
recon and one backup.
Do you want me to keep the channel open, or should I leave it closed until?
Keep it open. We
Okay.
don't know if it might ambush us.
We're gonna need the backup if it does.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you should probably just run if it's.
I mean, that's the plan, but
Okay.
Right. You travel down to the cabins, and then you travel down one floor more to the dining hall. Right,
Why you gotta
the
say it
dining
like
hall.
that?
This is a massive room. It contains a huge kitchen that is stocked to the brim with coolers, as well as several other fresh food printers, which are hooked to the ship's internal organic scrap. The staff appear to all be robots, seemingly disabled by something, just like the bartender upstairs.
The messiest room in the ship.
There looks to be, though, this room has a lot of the tables and chairs are knocked over and scattered, as if people were in a hurry. But you don't see where they went. There is no people here. There is no signs of any struggle, no blood anywhere.
Is the kitchen next to the dining room?
Yeah. Mhm. It goes
the-
around the whole outside of the dining room, actually.
Besides the coolers, are there like any tinned foods, non-perishable rations?
You find 8 cans of sardines and 3 tins of instant steak.
Oh.
Instant steak.
Dehydrated steak.
Just add water.
Oh,
There's going to
just
be the
put it in a bag.
packmaster.
And put it in a bag. Shake it. Steak and shake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. I attempt to use one of the printers for
Other
food.
than that, a lot of these coolers appear to be filled with what you know to be the organic scrap that the ship uses, Eisen. You don't see any actual usably perishable, like this will last a while kind of food here. This looks to be like, hey, have a big feast. Eat as much as you want. It's a luxury ship. We can make anything.
So about how many days rations will those be, like per person or?
The steak is considered a ration, basically, because it's not like, oh, I got like, a steak. Well, it's a small tin. It's like, oh, I got like a steak. So it's like a ration by itself.
Condensed
The
nutritional.
sardines are
yes.
kind of more of a supplement.
The in the pH, the amount of food you need a day is a pound of food.
Yeah,
if you want to
those
use that as a
tins-
scale.
Those tins of steak are like over a pound of steak once they
Yes.
fully rehydrate.
I just picture it being like the dehydrated bread, just sticking the steak out, just poof.
Right.
Well, if no one else is going to take it, I'll store the cans of steak.
No one else appears to have searched the kitchen.
Yeah.
Um,
Deborah's trying to use one of the printers. Are they even working?
The printers in this room do look like they're working.
Okay. I print out I print out a month's worth of food for me.
Okay. You print out a month's worth of insect carcasses.
So that's 30 pounds of what I like to imagine is like fruitcake, but bugs, just compressed.
Right.
I would say Talurra is going to be looking for the next way down a level.
There is a nice big staircase that continues and a nice big straight line down.
All right, she'll look to, I guess, the 3 who are in the search team. Say, want to head there while the others search here.
Yeah, if they want to stockpile rations and stuff while we scout
It
ahead.
might be a good idea.
Strike team is currently stockpiling.
She'll look to Nox and say, make sure you get some food for us, and don't make sure, and she'll point to Deborah. She doesn't make all the food.
They not.
Okay. Any food you make from this room that is not considered a ration will last as long as you think that food would last in real life if you didn't have it in a fridge. So,
honey.
If you make yourself a nice big fresh steak, it's not going to smell fresh after being in your pocket for a day.
Hell, it's not going to be healthy to eat after 4 hours.
Exactly.
As someone who has taken way too many food courses.
Okay, so Vex, you probably know this. I could make a shit ton of honey and then just make a bunch of food and put it in the honey.
Technically, yes, that would work.
Down from the search team, you find the gaming rooms. This room is filled with artificial reality suites. Some of these are the legendary Skyrim 37, a popular human game that was on the ship. It is the 37th iteration of the Skyrim game that humans had apparently made on their home world, wherever that was, in that weird Milky Way galaxy they talk about all the time. It is a very popular ancient fantasy game. There are also some old-time casino games from ancient Earth, as well as several other artificial combat simulation games. Those of you searching this area need to give me a perception check.
All right.
And that is everyone on the search team.
Okay, so I made 1 month worth of rations and 1 month worth of honey. That is for everyone, by the way. I don't know how much that would be, but she's just loading it up.
You made a month's worth of rations for everyone?
60, 90, 120.
And a month worth of honey.
150 pounds of food.
So,
and
150 pounds of food and 150 pounds of honey?
Right upstairs to rooms that you can put in it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Noelle's just like, I'm going to make beef jerky.
That would be technically ration.
I like to think it's like a Minecraft block, but it's just beef jerky.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God, I would kill for that. I would
a block of jerky.
I would actually kill for that. Given the price of
I know
jerky.
how much Alt loves jerky, so
here's the thing, though.
It takes 10 minutes for 1 brick because it's just so dense.
Right. So those of you in the search team, what'd you get for your perception?
30-20.
Deborah's senses have a 13 on the scale using a d20 randomized.
You're not part of the search team.
You're printing bugs.
Yeah.
That is a shame.
Is Meriel, me, and Zora.
Yep.
Actually.
Well, Zora, what'd you get?
16.
Okay. Meriel?
I got 15.
15. All right. All of you pass. You all notice 2 secret doors hidden in the back of the gaming room. These doors are so well hidden that you thought they were part of the wall. One is on the left and one is on the right.
Does one tell the truth? Sorry.
Why?
No, neither of them appear to talk.
Oh,
we haven't drank enough for that yet.
I enjoy that riddle.
Filler kind of looks to the others. Check those out.
I'll check the right if you check the left.
Sounds good. Zora, you want to watch your backs?
Draws a lightsaber or laser sword. Sorry.
Laser sword, lightsabers.
A legally distinct lightsaber.
Yes.
It is a sword that uses lasers. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we'll go with the left door. The left door that is open, Talurra, that was your door. You open a door to the security room. It shows active security feed to every floor of the ship.
Helpful.
Nox and Talurra internally. Nox is gonna
love this. It's so Noelle.
Meriel, you open the right door, and inside this door, you find Captain Lustor Cobble, still alive, enjoying a virtual reality of some sort of beach, drinking a whole bunch of alcohol. He appears to be quite wasted and probably completely unaware that something happened to the ship.
Is his VR set like an encapsulated, like it in words?
His looks to be encapsulated into this room, much like a holodeck would be if you could imagine the whole room actively becoming the simulation.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in the hollow shed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there a
pretty
kill
much.
switch anywhere that I can see?
There's a light switch to the left.
Light
Y'all,
switch.
You hit the light switch, the whole VR goes off, and he goes, what the? Oh, hey!
Captain!
What seems to... Here, let me get in character. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I found you in a little door behind the gaming devices.
Aye, this is where I spend me time. The ship is automated. What do you need?
A new ship for one.
A new ship. Something crashed into it.
What? What nonsense are you speaking?
I
He
wish it was
stumbles
nonsense.
forward and goes over to the security room. As he
Talurra's
walks
in
past
there.
you, he absolutely stinks of alcohol.
Talurra's already in there looking through all the security feeds.
What are you doing? Oh, what happened to the control panel?
I found a
that's
friend.
not good. What's that thing? Oh, that's not good either.
Talurra's
It's
Replacer.
that's a harvester replacer. Oh, we best get going then. Get to the storage bay to release the escape pod.
That's our plan.
Yep, that's what we've been doing. And then we
All
found
right.
you.
She'll,
I'll be in the top floor. That's the escape pod.
Yep.
Find me if you need anything. The captain
yeah.
walks past you towards the staircase heading upward. Strike team, you see the very drunk Captain Lustor Cobble walk past you upstairs towards the other cabins. He kind of waves, says hello, and just stumbles past. He's holding a small bottle of alcohol. As he gets within 10 to 15 feet of you, you can smell the alcohol on him.
Noelle's just excitedly talking with Nox and Deborah. I've never been part of a strike team before. Usually I just get to sit behind computers. This is so exciting. Oh, hey, it's the captain.
I've always wondered.
Aye! He walks past.
I have always wondered if the captain's quest to become one with alcohol will ever succeed. He seems to be getting closer.
I agree.
You're not sure how
So-
well he is at piloting, being that drunk. But you
I actually have a question.
Do you ask the captain something?
No,
Oh.
it's at the GM, and
Oh,
that
go ahead.
is so I just made a bunch of the rations and everything, but how much effort would it be to let's say take the most vital components of the food processor and install it in the escape part of the ship?
The organic scrap that is stored in this part of the ship kind of seems to be stored in some sort of strange containment pods, and they're far too heavy and integrated into the hull to move.
Yeah, but the organic scrap is something. I mean, we land on a planet, so probably we can get something that works for that and substitute it.
Mhm.
But the actual processing thing.
Oh,
more or less.
the printer on the top floor can do that too.
Okay, good.
It prints luxury items, which would be available even more plentiful than the one down here. This one's got like basic food. Yours on the
Okay.
top floor is like, oh look, filet mignon. Well, this one's like, you got butt steak. You know.
Still, I would actually also, once we're done with this thing, I would just in general, like the food processor, scrap it, whatever I can find, and just generally
Okay.
useful parts.
You know that these 3 printers here will each provide 1 mineral scrap. If you take them apart, and basically you could use them to build stuff.
Yeah, then I would do that.
Okay. You start taking them apart and carrying them upstairs.
Yep.
Assuming that you have some of the other strike team members help you move the heavy stuff. Mostly, more likely, Deborah. All right. That's what you're doing. The rest of you and the search team, you don't find anything else of interest in the gaming room other than, the most prized possession, the captain, and the security room.
Also, where do we see? Because we have the security cameras, right?
Yep.
Do we see the replacer at all?
Yes, you see the replacer in the spa. The security cameras there are very badly damaged, so you can tell it's moving around in that area, but getting details of what the spa looks like or what its condition is in is very difficult at this point.
I just imagine the replacers sitting in the spa, like face mask on, just chilling.
It's dragging one of its legs as if it got into a serious fight, and you see occasional sparks kind of arcing off of it brightly, occasionally illuminating the corridor around it to some very grim, horrific scene.
And to the second question, does it look like there's any thing living on any of the cameras?
The only other thing you see moving on the cameras is there's some very strange movement in the cargo hold. You're assuming this is A163RT because, it's a cloud, but you don't really know if it's all A163RT. It went down there to assist with stuff and to attempt to get the engine working again, which it apparently succeeded in that sense.
I wonder, does this ship have like awfully fast closing emergency hatches?
No, it does not. You know that they got rid of that on most spaceships because they could be used as weapons and were therefore more dangerous than they were useful.
Nox trying to give him stormtrooper treatment.
I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily agree with that, because if you have a fire on a spaceship, you want to be able to put that out, and closing all the doors and venting the ship is the best way to do it.
So you know that the floor down, the search team, this is for you, the door going down that way is sealed. Not necessarily sealed, but it's closed because you think the area behind that is a vacuum.
All right. Talurra
you see the vacuum light blinking on the door, telling you there's a vacuum beyond this point.
Talurra will look to the other two, and then over the comms unit to say, "All's clear here. Found the security station. We're gonna head to the next floor."
Noelle, you're gonna love it.
Okay, roger that.
All right, I guess we need to get. We have actually our the life suit, right? Can stand up to a void.
It can stand to any environment that could be considered hostile to you.
All right.
This does not include a vat of acid or a pool of lava, but it does include a very hot planet or a very cold planet.
I also assume not extreme radiation.
Extreme radiation, yes. However, if the suit gets torn, no. So, extreme radiation. But if you catch that snag of a branch or a rock, dead.
So
I mean, yeah, it's more like, okay, I'm in space. There's a lot of radiation around here, so
yeah. If you're wearing the life suit, you're protected from even the most extreme level of radiation.
Okay.
But if the life suit gets torn, you're not.
At least
I will tell you when that becomes a problem.
I think asphyxiation would be quicker on your mind than radiation.
Yeah, asphyxiation would be faster, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next part is the vacuum. The life suit you have on Zora, Meriel, and Talurra will protect you from the vacuum. So you don't need to use the spacesuits particularly. However, the spacesuits are armored. So the spacesuits will provide you from armor so that if they can take a hit and not be damaged. They can't protect you from anything else, but you can just wear the life suit underneath them.
Yeah. I think for now, just use the life suit, and if...
Okay.
I may not have the quietness of a void cat, but I am able to survive in the vacuum. Would you want me to assist you?
I think we should be good. We know where it is now, so at least we don't have to worry about it attacking us. It's in the spa currently.
The spa. I guess even they need R&R.
All right, ready to go out, you guys?
Yep.
Let's get going.
All right, go for a walk. And with that, yeah, I guess I'm assuming it's if we open the door, it won't immediately vent all the oxygen from this area.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, is it an airlock or?
I'm assuming it's
No.
Oh.
It's just a door.
So
You
it
might want
probably
to close
will.
the hatch to the door above and then open this one.
Yeah.
And then use the gaming room as the airlock.
My heart. Thank you for the pity laugh.
Sorry. So those of you who traveled to the vacuum, which I'm assuming is the search squad, you guys go into the area of the ship that is heavily trashed. There is some sort of strange pod in the middle of this trashed level of the ship. The pod is a sphere of some sort that looks quite literally seemingly cobbled together from space junk. You're not quite sure how it works. It's very foreign technology to you. And you see some organs grafted into it, so it's also kind of gross looking. There are several passengers dead in this area. They appear to just be floating dead. Many of them look like they were stabbed to death. Several of them are cut open, and they appear to be missing certain organs. The repair drones in this area have fixed most of the damage to the hull. However, there's still a decent hole on the side, and the repair drones appear to have been deactivated, along with whatever turned off the robots. But not all of the damage is, of course, repaired, because, there's still a big hole shaped like the pod. A lot of the other structural damage is, however, reinforced again. So the ship doesn't look like it's going to tear in half, but that's the extent of it. This area is also very badly damaged, and the floor going down looks as though it's also sealed off by debris. If you were going to go down through the stairs, you'd have to move some of this debris around.
All right.
In order to find the stairs, because you currently can't see them. There's a lot of tech in this area floating around from all the smashed terminals, lots of wires, computer chips, and other things just kind of floating around. This area is rich with mineral scrap, which was once the control paneling of the ship.
Does the debris in the stairway look like just a lot of light pieces, or would their weight be reduced considering we're in the vacuum?
Considering that you're in a vacuum, you could possibly move these around easier. But a lot of the debris here just looks like debris. If you had some sturdy gloves from armor or something, you could probably shovel the debris out of the way. But if you use your hands from the life suit, you're going to tear the suit.
I was going to say, Talurra is actually going to, over the radio, say, we might want to put the spacesuits on for this, actually.
So,
or do we want to get Deborah?
That would also work.
Go ahead, Zora.
How about using kinesis? I can move at least 10 pounds at a time without even having to touch it.
You could clear this with that easily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have. I say, actually, I can use Mage Hand, which does the same thing.
That'll help as well. Between the kinesis and your Mage Hand, you are capable of moving the debris off of the door. You do know, since the logical path of everything in the ship has been a nice downward staircase going down, that this also would be in the same line of that. So you clear the debris off of where you think the door is, and ta-da, there's the door. It's sealed, and the vacuum light is blinking, indicating your area of the ship is a vacuum, but not the one beyond it.
Where does this area lead to?
Below this area, based on the map that Nox and Eisen have looked at, you know that this is the reactor core below this.
All right, so nothing.
Dark matter.
The dark matter engine.
Talurra was worried about potentially opening a room and there being people in it. There could be people in there, but...
I mean, if we're going to find people anywhere, it's going to be in the cargo bay, right? We saw activity down there?
No, you saw activity in the spa. That's where you saw the possibility of dead bodies.
We saw, in terms of in the cargo room, we saw the Nano swarm.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, head to the next floor and then call for them after we clear it.
Okay. The vacuum area of the ship. Those of you from the strike team, you now have access to the gaming room with the security office and the captain's personal VR suite. And you also have access to the scrap area, which is filled with the former controls of the ship. So that's the map you know so far of the ship that you have explored. There is the giant scrap area, if you haven't guessed from the sphere and all the debris.
So,
I hope they closed the outer door before they went further.
Oh, of course.
so the strike team now has access to where the replacer supposedly breached, right?
Yeah, you have access to the breach in the ship, which is the vacuum area.
Okay.
Just as a note, with just as quickly as she can, Zora will manipulate the debris to make a giant arrow pointing towards the stairwell that we're going down.
Nice.
Okay. That's easy to do. There's a lot of straight, jagged pieces that used to be stairs going to the rest of the control area, which is completely trash now.
Since I have an innate climb, I'm going to climb the walls when we're in the zero gravity area, and I'm going to head towards where the hole is.
Okay. You think you could squeeze through the hole if you need to? It would be a bit of a squeeze, but it's not too bad. You're not large sized. You could squeeze through.
How small is this? That's a pretty small puncture, relatively.
It's the hole itself is big enough that the pod could slam through. You're not sure how the replacer fit into the pod because the pod's breached open. The pod also just absolutely looks horrific. Like I said, there's organs grafted into it. It's also got like some flesh grafted to the outside of it, and yeah, it's quite horrible to look at.
I cut off a piece, put it in my bag, and then I go outside.
They're called replacers, not harvesters. Oops.
I mean, that's he rolled with it. He was like, it's a harvester class replacer. So
the reactor core. Upon entering this area, it is clear that a massive battle took place here. Blood streaks the floor as if all the bodies were dragged elsewhere. Damage to the walls is accented by blood splatter, blaster fire, and explosion damage. It seems to have been done to many of the walls and floors. The corridor of the reactor core is a winding, large spiral pattern, as you've seen from the map, that Nox told you about and Eisen told you about as well, connecting to the core in a central chamber.
Glad I wasn't here. We weren't here for that whole thing.
Looks bad. There's a lot of damage.
Good to know.
There's a lot of blood too.
Oh yeah, a lot of
even
blood.
better.
does it look
It's
like?
splattered everywhere, drug across the floor. It's all over the place.
Is it like so much you can't even fix it with flex tape?
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Is
I can
is the
fix anything with
reactor?
flex.
I mean, I'm not there, but I kind of still want to know: is the reactor damaged?
If you go to the security room, you can look at what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably eventually, like, once I've done, like, secured the scrap and everything, I would go to the security room.
Yeah, you and
And-
Noelle are definitely checking out all
Yeah.
the security.
I was
stuff
gonna
here.
say Noelle probably beelined into that room.
yeah.
She saw computer and was like, ooh.
We
Yeah.
heard computer and almost ran out as we vented that area.
Right. So from this room, you can see what they're doing. In the other areas, you can't hear it, but you can see it. The reactor core looks very weird. Give me a technology check.
Sure thing.
Those of you who are looking at the reactor, and that's anyone. You use the camera, or if you're looking with your own eyes because you're on the scout team.
Okay.
That's a 26 with a nat 20.
Nice.
First roll, and it's a 20.
Nice.
Yeah, mine's a 10, so I know shit.
I got a 9. I got a 19.
Okay. I will tell you a private message here in a second as well.
All right.
I heard that.
That was my back.
I know.
It was really nice.
In Discord or in Zoom?
Zoom.
Okay.
Is that Pensive AC alt? Good.
Oh, okay. Regarding that information, how likely is the replacer to die from that? compared to atmospheric re-entry of the ship?
He sends whispers to the winds that only Nox can hear.
That's what you get from the reactor area. If you think you are technologically savvy, you could tinker with the dark matter engine. However, you know doing that risks implosion if you fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. No major issue. Just a
I mean,
catastrophic implosion.
I mean, Nox is proficient in tinkering with dark matter engines. That's like part of the whole deal.
Yeah, it's only a tier 5 dark matter engine.
2.
It's 2?
It's a Starliner.
Oh crap! Okay, yeah, I don't know if you should mess with a tier 2.
It's fine.
Oh, class 5. I'm sorry. It is class 5.
It is class 5. Okay.
I got my classes backwards. I'm like, what? Oh.
I was like, the lower the number, the more powerful it is. That's why I was like, wait,
yeah,
what?
no, it's fine. Never mind. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the question is, what would I get from tinkering with it? Even I could make it probably rig it so it would blow up earlier.
Let's not do that.
Or I could fix it, but fixing it, well, like what that would only mean. I mean, if the reactor implodes, it means the ship falls into pieces, and the pieces individually like drop into the atmosphere probably earlier. Some of them earlier, others might get completely thrown off course.
You also know that if it implodes in space, no harm, no foul. If it implodes in the atmosphere of the planet, that could be bad.
What if it's a ground detonation?
That
Really
could also
bad.
be really
That's very bad.
Since
Yeah,
the
that's
ground of this planet is an ocean.
So the
It would really
actually
suck,
the
is what
higher
you're
in
saying.
atmosphere it implodes, the better it is for us.
Yeah, if you could get it to implode in space, like it currently will.
Yeah, then I'll leave it because I don't want to fix it because when it re-enters, there's a chance probably that the reactor will also blow or implode.
All
Which
else fails. Hera, you can rig it as we're on our way out.
Yeah.
Because we definitely don't want to mess with it while we're in it.
But I also like currently. So what I know currently, I can say this, right? I can.
Yeah.
This
that's
is
just
might
what
not
I-
be information that I actually would share because it's kind of like we don't plan to stay 3 days on here, so it's not really relevant information. So I wouldn't share that. But I would like just in general. I do know that the reactor will implode in 3 days unless the shielding is replaced. So. And within 3 days, it would still be in space, so atmosphere would be fine. If I rig it now, there's a chance that it might blow up earlier, and that we're still in the radius while we're trying to get away from that.
Yeah. Or
that I
you
fuck
fucked
up
it
and it explodes now. Yeah. We don't want that. So we're just gonna leave it as it is because it's nice right now.
It's the
nicely
problem.
broken.
It'll take care of itself.
It's nice. It'll take care of itself.
And the blood trails in this area lead down to the level below this one, which is the spa.
Joy.
When I crawl onto the outside of the hull, I want to try to climb towards the big giant. If I remember right, there was like a big window of some kind at the spa, right?
Yes.
Like a whole wall was a window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I crawl over to that to see what's going on with this replacer.
You look into the spa window, and I will reveal what the scout team at least sees and smells coming from the room. Those of you looking down the creepy staircase to the spa see a great deal of blood painted across the walls and the floors of the staircase leading downward, and it looks to be there's even more combat damage down below. The spa area you see is in no better shape than the reactor room. Damage here is also highlighted by blood splatters. The walls and floors here show signs of damage from blasters and explosions. It is basically just painted with blood and dead bodies. From what you can see, some of the spa rooms, Deborah, have been packed full of dead bodies from the crew. They've just been crammed into the room like it's a big closet.
Well, I can only be out in space for 20 minutes, so I don't know how long it'll take for me to get there and back. But I'll definitely make sure I get back in where there's air before that 20 minutes is up.
And I guess we are going to be as quiet as we fucking can be.
No shit.
When I get back inside, I relay that to everybody.
All right.
Actually, probably before we head down there, Talurra will be like going quiet, going through the spa. Just to make sure everybody knows if we don't answer, this is why.
Okay. You approach the staircase to the spa. All of you need to give me stealth checks from the search team.
And I have just a thing, because if we're using hiding, at least for me, if it's using passive perception, it has a -5 to that. Because of Drow subtlety.
Nice.
Also, I will basically keep especially an eye on all the cameras in the spa and try to like warn them of the current location of the not harvester replacer.
Either one
also
works because
works.
it's
Yeah, I
a
mean,
harvester replacer.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I got an 18.
18. Okay. Meriel.
26.
Nice. Zora.
24.
Nice. All right. You stealthily move into the spa. In the distance, you hear from the floor of the spa as the replacer walks around the spa, not silently at all. In the distance, as you creep down one of the corridors, you see it carrying several organs in its hand as it's like moving its broken leg behind it like dead weight that's not even really slowing it down as it moves towards one of the other rooms that it was going into. You sneak past where it's at and see the staircase leading down. As you sneak past and through the area, you see lots of dead bodies. This area is packed to the brim with all 119 passengers, all of them dead. Many of them, many different species, all of them dead, all of them killed by several stab wounds from some very small, sharp object. In the replacer's hand, you see the middle of its hand is open to reveal a large, thin spike that you assume is what it's killed the entire crew with. The spike seems to leave very large holes in its target, some of them causing bleeding wounds where the target may not heal properly if they don't receive healing from it. Basically, if you don't die from the damage, you could bleed out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so perfect stealth mission. Let's go.
You sneak past the replacer towards the staircase leading down to the cargo hold. You don't search the spa because the replacer's here, and that's creepy enough.
We're not gonna find anything we want from there. We're just gonna find bodies, and we don't need those.
Yeah, I don't care enough about what's in the spa. Let's go.
Do you mind if I take a spare kidney? They go great with fava beans.
I have a better question. How much could the kidneys go for on the galactic black market?
Given the current condition that they're in, not much. And the fact that you're also going to crash on an ocean planet soon, also not much.
And also, probably they can 3D print organs by now.
Right.
Were there any bottles of
I mean,
Chianti?
I mean, I'm sure
Balls
the
of what?
Chianti.
You can print some.
I'm sure organs from the natural source would sell for more because they're genuine, but we don't have
Yeah.
any way to store them.
Naturalists usually pay quite a bit from them, people who refuse to get organs from machines. But other than that, you don't get too
cowards.
much. The storage area. This area is, as you would imagine, many storage areas, a giant maze of boxes. This area also has a bunch of clouds moving around. They coalesce next to you into A163RT.
Talurra just kind
Hello.
of give a quiet wave and just hold the finger up to the mouth.
It nods.
You should just very quietly say, "It's up there." Sorry, if you can't, I don't know if you could hear me or not. I don't know how well my
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know how well this mic picks up whispers, so.
Yep. Yeah, I heard you. It nods.
And actually, I don't remember entirely. Hera wondering. What were we down here for? The release, that's right.
Yep. So in this area, you, through the maze of boxes, see 3 release switches. Each of them say detachment switch. And it looks like they need to be pulled in unison in order to activate the detachment protocol for the upper level of the ship.
Would we know?
Oh, perfect.
Would it detach it immediately, or I assume
No.
like it just means it can be detached?
It can be detached after that's been released.
Okay.
Then it presumably opens up some means of detaching it on the upper level.
Talurra will very quietly over the comms unit just go, we're getting close to detaching. Make sure someone's up there just to make sure that the captain doesn't accidentally detach without us.
Oh, okay, roger that. I can go. Do you guys want to stay here?
You can hear in your head. I'll go.
Okay.
And Nox moves up to make sure that nobody
You see the
preemptively
captain drunkily sitting next to the side of the pool, still drinking.
Okay,
Appears
they
to also be snacking on
like go
a
back
slab
and
of
like
meat.
I'll stay up here, but I don't think the captain doing anything rash is currently of concern.
You do see a lot of boxes down here that are labeled to be filled with stuff, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we're here.
Do they just have a label on it that is called stuff?
Some of them actually do, yes. It looks like it's written in Dwarven, so maybe you don't read that well.
STUF, just one F there. He was drunk when he wrote the labels.
Right. So, in this area, and I'm not going to individualize it, I'm just going to say altogether what you find. You find 2 hull repair kits.
1 second, I'm just going to get a Google Doc up so I can write this stuff down. Sorry, all right.
2 hull repair kits.
Yep.
20 feet of spare wiring.
All right.
4 computer consoles missing the primer chips. 15 deep sea pressure suits, which are treated like flight suit armor.
Might need that on an ocean planet.
They give you protection from deep sea pressure and vacuums.
All right.
And like I said, they're treated like flight suits.
Oh.
I
as far
just
as
put in the
armor
brackets flight suit just so I know what they're treated as.
Oh, I
goes.
see.
1 small box of exotic chocolate.
I see where you're going with this campaign, and I don't like it.
What you're saying is you see it's going Subnautica?
Yeah.
A deactivated odd coffee machine that looks as though it might be intelligent.
Take that.
And 15 1-liter aqua conversion canteens, which is 15 canteens that can convert water of any kind into drinkable water.
All right. So in terms of important stuff.
Wish I had that on Subnautica.
Oh, yeah, and you also see 53 days worth of compressed sealed food rations. And you know nobody likes these because they taste awful.
Hey, better than nothing.
Everyone's eaten them at some point in their life. They taste horrific.
As someone who's eaten a lot of rations, I understand that pain.
At least it's not hardtack.
And these things make hardtack look like filet mignon. They work, but they are terrible.
All right.
Eisen, you've also eaten these things in your days of your military career, and you prefer hardtack to these.
Hard to discern which is the ration and which is the toilet paper.
Exactly.
All right, so. And I'm assuming these are probably too bulky for us to take all of them as the 3
Correct.
of us. Yeah.
They're in small snack packages, so they're individually wrapped. 1 little bar is a day's worth.
I more mean like everything as a whole. I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's probably.
You won't be able to take everything, so just write down what you take.
I wrote down everything and then I'm label what we take. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, you have to sneak past the replacer with this.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I know.
I was about to say I could carry it, but no.
Unless you plan on holding your breath and running up the outside of the ship.
I mean, that is an option.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is an option we could do, because we do have Deborah there.
And you can communicate with her.
That actually might be a good idea to do. Is
how much control do we actually have over the escape pod unit in terms of flight capability?
Once they flip the switches, I'll tell you.
Oh boy.
So, what's the easy way to get? So if we go for the spacewalk, right? Is there an opening here?
There's a loading hatch in this area that opens up to space. Currently space, but would be a dock if you stopped somewhere.
Yeah. Second question, how loud would that be?
It's a loud metal scraping noise that would let everything on the ship know you've currently opened the bottom.
So what you're saying is, if we open it, all of China will know we're here.
Correct.
All right.
And we better be fast.
Is there... Would there be also a way to possibly drop the cargo just safely onto the planet?
It would re-entry, so no.
It would not survive re-entry. I was going to say that.
Right. It would re-enter in pieces.
It would be, the rations would be cooked.
Right.
I mean, I don't know like how sturdy these boxes are,
They're not.
or if they if they have like if there's
plastic.
drop equipment or something like that.
No, it's all plastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally. Not even plasteel, it's literally plastic.
Now, the cargo, they would disintegrate, but what about the section of the ship that they're in?
All depends.
Yes.
We don't want to take the chance of it. We don't want to take the chance of leaving stuff and then it just never making it through re-entry.
I'm just saying, if there was a way to put a beacon on this section of ship, if it survived re-entry, we could find it later.
I'm scared of the
you
more...
also know that Eisen's armor allows him to carry quite a bit. He could come down to you from the outside of the ship and help
I was
you
actually going to say, if we can get Deborah and Eisen, and honestly everybody, because we could feasibly...
Eisen's a dwarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could ride on my back.
As soon as you said Eisen the Dwarf, I knew exactly where that was going.
I don't have the Cavalier trait, but okay.
No, like...
I'm not that fast either, but, you know.
No.
I have an innate climb speed, so when we're on the outside of the ship, that might be better.
Onward!
Actually might be for our best interest to get everybody into place on the outside of the ship. Like, you have 20 minutes, right? You said, Scotty?
Mm-hmm. And I also have an environmental suit, so...
Yeah, so you could use the environmental suit.
She doesn't like to wear it. It's like, I don't know. Most creatures with wearing clothes, it's like, ew, why am I wearing an extra layer of skin?
Dude, clothes are awful. I mean, it's just me normally.
Also, like, you don't actually have, like, if we have people on the other side of the ship, you don't actually have to carry it. You can just, like, bring it up, let it go, and then the others on the other side have to catch it.
Actually, another thing Talurra will say as we're setting up to do this crazy thing, can someone go back to the where the replacer landed and cover up the door just to make sure? Or
we're overthinking this. There's a vacuum of space. All we have to do is tether all the stuff and then pull it in.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
But we have to open the door to do the tethering. That's the issue. Is the moment we open that door, it's gonna know we're there, and then shit's gonna go down.
Yep.
So go ahead, tether it, and get it all ready.
Yep. I think honestly our best plan is get everybody out, everybody but Searchy Squad, waiting at the opening. Open it, and hope we can get
tether it all together, drag it up there, and drop it into the hole.
Yeah, I'd say also. The other question is, how loud would pulling the switches be?
Not loud enough to activate make anything aware.
So we could. And the third question: can the nanobots activate a switch? Either there's 4, right? Or
alert. A163RT functions as a remote unit. It can search. It can use your skills at a range. It can do anything you can do, but you have to do it through the nanobots at a range.
Okay,
so we could theoretically, you could set everything up and you use A163RT to set off any kind of awareness. You also know A163RT can phase through solid matter.
Yeah. I would say the main thing I know that both Zora and I both have Mage Hand effectively, so we could also use that to flick the switch.
Yeah.
Since it's nanobots, does that mean it can break down organic and inorganic material?
It can only break down mineral. It cannot break down anything that was organic.
Oh,
it's part of its programming. It's limited to not being.
Okay, instead of opening the door, why don't you get everything tethered and then have him dissolve the...
Yes. That's a
He can literally dissolve the hull.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even need to open it.
No alarm, let him know.
All right, let's start getting everything tethered up and ready at the loading gate then. The three of us and the rest of you get to space and.
Okay.
Yep.
Everyone gets into position and you begin Operation Space Load.
Yep. And also, we will pull the release switches. I assume that's a minor thing.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah.
As they hit the switches, Nox, since you've been checking on the captain, you go up to check on the captain and notice the terminal where you hacked it. Next to the terminal, part of the wall has flipped open to what looks to be drop control panel, where somebody with piloting skills can pilot the craft down to the surface. You do know that this uses re-entry to steer the craft and some small boosters, but nothing crazy. You're not like flying away with it. You're basically crash landing.
It's falling with style.
Yes.
Do you need specifically the piloting skill?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we have a pilot.
You also have the captain.
As you say, I was waiting for all to go. Oh shit, that's me.
I don't trust the captain.
I don't trust the captain either.
I can fly the ship.
What do you mean you don't trust me?
You're drunk.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all you get.
And some another cocktail.
I'm glad we've established that you are in fact drunk. Anyway.
All right.
Anytime you make small talk with him, he begins telling you a story, whether you want to listen to it or not.
I picture him telling a story. Someone walks away, comes back, and he's still telling the same story.
Yes. Yes. He doesn't stop if you've left the room. He just keeps going, especially if he's drunk.
Man, I am glad we didn't bring him on the stealth mission.
Oh, well,
my
go
God.
make a sandwich, come back 30 minutes later.
Right. You didn't miss much. He's still telling it. Yeah.
All right. We all
Right.
ready?
You begin Operation Space Load. I'm assuming you have A163RT dissolve the hull?
Yes.
Okay.
Talurra
It dissolves
will
a
stay at
large
the-
hole in the hull, and despite popular sci-fi fiction, it just leaks air out. It doesn't make a loud noise.
Yeah.
Nor does it make a huge suction that sucks everything out into space. It literally just makes air go away. The air's gone. Ta-da.
Air go away. Talurra would be standing near the door, just keeping an eye out, because you can't keep an ear out in space.
Right. Now that it's a vacuum, you can't hear anything. There is nothing to hear anymore outside of the comms inside your...
I think out of everybody, she has the best dark vision.
Keeping an eye out, you manage to get the cargo loaded, and you don't see any signs of the replacer coming your direction yet. I roll encounter dice. Okay. And you proceed with Operation Load and get everything outside the ship and get it over to the hull in the ship and load it into the hull of the ship. A163RT follows, rematerizes the hull back together down below, and follows behind you, sealing the hull to the vacuum area of the ship.
It's handy.
It uses
Very
spare
handy.
metal in the area to just refuse the hull closed. After the hull's closed, you see the sealed door from this broken level to the top one open, because the area once again is repressurized again, and now there's atmosphere.
Talurra just kind of looks at. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that thing. There is so many bodies in that spot.
Oh yeah, I want no business with that thing. Not even with my cool new guns.
To think that one thing wiped out the entire crew,
Yeah.
and only by good fortune did it manage to miss you.
Yep.
It's almost like plot armor.
I believe it was fated to be. There is no such thing as luck.
I very much believe in luck.
I have heard that statement before. it could be that the emergency hatch on your level of the ship reacted faster to the accident. The rest of the ship does not appear to have one. Perhaps the captain was more concerned with the luxury crew than the rest of the passengers.
And I'm glad I acquired that ticket.
I'd believe that too.
The lower classes can't sue you.
Those upper class tickets suddenly look like they're really worth it now.
worth every finger for that 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
But I only have 6.
You proceed with Operation Load and get the rest of the valuable cargo up into the escape pod, which is the whole top level of the ship. Which, for a reminder, the top level of the ship looks like that. There's a pool in the middle, which you're not sure how messy that's going to be once re-entry happens. You hope there's a lid on the pool.
I move the cargo through the space and lift it and whatnot, and it seems like Deborah this is definitely not the first time she has done this before. I believe her people. I believe her people are more of the. They work on like mines on asteroids and stuff, so they do a lot of that kind of stuff anyway. So,
well, Talurra is gonna, out of just keeping an eye out on stuff, she is gonna keep an eye on the window while they're doing the loading back in.
I'm half tempted to blow the window to make it shoot out into space, but I know that won't work.
The last thing we want is it not contained in the ship as it's going down.
So wait, is
Also,
this pool
Nox
coming with us?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Is this pool in the escape pod?
Yeah. There is a cover to it as you look at it. It does look like the cover can seal
I
shut.
was about to say, can we drain this thing so we're not as heavy during re-entry?
Yeah, it can be drained. You also know that the entirety of the water there could be turned into mineral by A163RT. It can be turned into mineral scrap, and it'll just be a hole in the floor.
Yeah, that'd be handy, actually. Want to do that, guys?
Yeah.
We don't need a pool. The whole world's gonna be a pool.
No, fair enough.
That pool is now a cargo storage area.
The pool may be useful to keep aquatic specimens in.
Yeah, also,
I think
like,
the entire world is gonna be good for that.
another thing
They
Nox
won't
would
be
have actually
contained.
done while they did like all the preparations, they would have actually like went around and secured stuff so it doesn't like fly around randomly, made sure everything is shut neatly and
while
tight.
it doesn't look like it, all of the rooms have compartments that look like the wall that are sealed that you can pop open and store things in case of the drop. So all of the rooms basically have internal compartments you can seal clothes and small carry-on luggage sized stuff into. Basically whatever you're carrying that you don't want to have jostle and dance around the room, and it'll be safe in that area,
Like swords.
suspended.
Or weapons.
Like swords, weapons, honestly anything.
Gallons
because
of whiskey.
Yes.
Because at that speed and at that like forces, everything becomes a deadly weapon.
Right. Right. Yeah. A163 RT helps you convert the water from the pool into mineral scrap. So the water becomes 2 mineral scrap. Those of you who have a character sheet where you're recording stuff.
Oh yeah, I can add that to our. I can just add that to our Google Docs. How many scrap did you get, Hera, from the?
3 mineral scrap.
So we have 5 mineral scrap. Oops.
Yep. We also have a month worth of honey and a month worth of rations for everyone.
So we have.
That's probably most of what this escape thing can carry, right there.
Nah.
You got quite a bit of space up here.
Oh.
We have a lot of space up here. Like, just even if we like just drain the pool, just imagine how much space that is alone.
That's true.
And then if we just like store all the rations in a single room and seal that shut, that won't even be like completely full, because this is like rations, not like full on like proper meals. This is just to survive. So think MRE stuff.
Yeah, they're made
MRE stuff
purposely compact.
is easily compacted. So.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking U.S. MREs or German MREs?
I'm German, so I'm gonna say German MREs.
Okay, thank God. Those are actually good.
The good ones.
Yeah,
Let's be honest here. America does MREs really badly.
That is actually
For
one
the
thing
most-
I know
for the
about
most part.
MREs.
There are
That
not
some
I
as
don't
decent
want.
American ones.
Not as bad as the British ones.
That's fair.
That is
I mean,
that is
that's
one
that
thing
is-
I
hold on,
know
I
about
just want to point out,
MREs.
is that a surprise to anybody? The Brits don't know how to make food.
So a friend of mine was in Afghanistan and actually said that German MREs were like a highly valuable trade good in the camp because they were
7
actually
US
decent food.
MREs for 1 German one.
Yeah.
I posted up the Google Doc I have for the survival gear for us.
Okay, I will pin it
Nice.
because that might just be our group treasury.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that's actually what I was intending it for. Was
All right. Anything you want to add to that that's no longer part of your character sheet of what you found on the ship that you want to make as the group treasure, just put onto that document.
we had those 2 life suits.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'll actually change something too so that everybody can change it.
You get the cargo loaded and secured. Everything seems to be sealed and in position. You
There we
look
go.
as though you're ready for someone to pilot the escape pod to the planet.
Now, before we
look-
detach, are we going to make sure that that thing doesn't make it to the ground?
It is
I
heading.
mean,
It is
based
heading
on
to a
what
nearby
Knox told
ocean
you-
planet. Should
Based
arrive
on
in a
what
week.
Knox told you about the dark matter reactor, you're fairly certain in 3 days the dark matter reactor is going to implode, and that's before it'll even reach re-entry.
Okay.
Talurra will also look and say, though it might be a good idea to see if we can sabotage, make sure it can't get off the ship with its own ship.
I was about to ask if there was any way we can contain it in the room it's currently in.
Yeah,
I
or
be-
at least lock down the dark matter drive.
I believe in the storage there was like a hull repair equipment.
Well, yeah, no, we have that. We have that now too.
Yeah, do you
Mhm.
want to repair the hull that's opened where his pod came in from?
A163RT did that,
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
but you could use the hull repair kit to seal the stairway off.
That would be something
I
we
would
want.
love to do that.
Yes,
Okay.
let's use one of those hull repair kits to
All
do
right.
that.
Yeah.
You use the hull repair kit to turn the emergency vacuum hatch leading into its escape pod into a sealed piece of solid hull. You're fairly certain, despite how tough this thing might be, it's really good at killing living things and not necessarily tearing through a hull. So it's not a space shark. You're probably not going to run into anything that's going to tear through a hull in this part of the galaxy
Hopefully.
And survive.
and survive. Yes.
Implications that space sharks are a thing.
They are.
Of
They are.
course they are.
So
I also imagine they're more like space megalodons and less space shark.
Yes.
Oh
They're
no.
definitely
That sounds
big
amazing.
megalodons in size.
I know they're there because I've seen their stat block.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you make preparations. You seal the area off, dooming the fate of the replacer to a very crappy implosion.
Very sucky death.
And then it will also re-enter into the atmosphere. Despite its imploded remains, will also burn up in re-entry
If
after it's
that
been crushed to
motherfucker
the-
lives,
Yeah.
it deserves it.
Right.
If
so
it
at
lives
this
that, we had
particular
no
moment,
chance against it.
They
You're
are.
pretty sure there's no way it's going to survive the implosion and re-entry. One or the other, probably not both.
They are known for their durability.
Can we also throw it into the sun?
Not from this distance. It's a red dwarf star, so it would take quite a bit of throwing. So you are all prepared and ready to go, ready for launch, as it
Yeah.
were.
Deborah takes literally everything from her room in here.
I mean, the room's coming with us.
Oh. Well, she does it anyway. She didn't understand.
So the whole upper area of the ship here is now your escape pod / living quarters for who knows how long.
And imagine what you would expect a witch to have, but space stuff. So instead of like a dead crow in a cage, it'll be like this weird alien bird. Just
Space
mummified.
frogs.
Yeah.
It's still a crow, but it has like 3 more eyes.
I have a dead roach, which is a thing in Dark Matter.
Are we space gypsies now? Flying the caravan down to the planet.
So,
Nah, this will become Subnautica now. And you
Right.
thought this was a space game. Surprise, surprise. No, we're playing Subnautica, and after that we're playing Aquanox.
Oh, one of us should have been the Nautiloids? What are they called?
Nautiloids.
Yeah, Nautiloids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
that's
I play Space Engineers. I've got this.
There you go. All right.
All right.
You are prepared. You are ready.
First ready we're going to be Noelle.
Who
take us
pilots the pod?
Hello.
Give me a pilot check.
Okay, I suggest everyone buckle up.
Okay.
out. Yep.
Buckle this.
Just said, I hate this part.
Ludicrous speed, go!
I got a 16.
All right.
Okay,
You
that's-
successfully detach the escape pod, move it away from what is going to be debris, and then what was the rest of the ship, but is now going to be debris, and you successfully get to a point where you begin re-entry. The escape pod usually only has enough juice to get you to the planet's atmosphere, and then you have to pilot the drop, which basically is a fancy way of saying don't hit anything that's going to break it. Which, hey, it's a giant ocean planet. You only see a couple islands on this planet possible anyway, even from this distance. So when you were out in space, you did notice there were some islands on the planet, but they were very small, and there was only 2 of them.
Does it look like when the escape pod detaches and it veers off, that it be visible from the windows from where it was at?
It
No.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
No,
matter
you don't
even if
think
it,
it would.
was.
Oh,
You
well,
don't think
I
that-
could have done something to help with that, but it's fine.
I'm going to make the joke, Scotty, of it doesn't matter. It's not. What is it going to do? Chase after
Yeah.
us?
Even if it's chasing after us, then it's just drifting in space helplessly, because I don't think it has, like, even if it can breathe there, it doesn't have, like, maneuverability in space.
Propulsion.
It doesn't have
Propulsion or
propulsion.
anything. Yeah.
You know that
Us-
vacuum can't. You know that vacuum cannot kill them. But
I was about to say, I have the unfair experience of being in this campaign setting before with him as DM, so I know, like, at least in 3rd edition, how scary these things are. So I'm like,
All right.
it probably could. Who knows?
I mean, I bet if we fought it, this would have been a very quick end.
CPK.
Yeah, it would have been a very quick campaign.
Okay, you detach from the ship and you begin re-entry. The successful piloting of Noelle causes the craft to have a as pleasant as you could imagine re-entry being, entry into the planet, and a successful splash. You may all level up to level 3, and I think that this particular moment is a good time to stop. And we'll begin next time on the Mystery of the Silver Fleet with Escape from the Planet.
Real quick, Noah's like, I hope that was recorded, because I'll be real with you. That was the first time I ever actually piloted something.
What?
Deborah looks like a frightened insect, and by frightened insect, I mean absolutely still, looks like a statue. Her talons of feet are cracked into the hall's floor when you were going into re-entry.
And as it, like, kind of like, you hear a loud splash
a gift
outside,
into the Mystery of the Silver Fleet for you.
and the top of the ship opens up and allows a ladder to come down so that you can climb out of the escape pod onto the top of the pod. From here, you can
Welcome
see
aboard, Captain.
Yeah. From here, you can see a small swim away is one of the islands, and there does look like there's a building on the island, a kind of tall one, though it looks kind of old.
An alien.
We'll find out what that's about.
Not an
Next time.
NPC called Dr. Moreau, is there?
Looks at NPC list. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
We gonna do plugs or?
All right. Anyone have any plugs?
I do.
Go ahead, shoot.
All right. One, you can find me on my Twitter handle at DexyHexy. Excuse me.
I do have one.
I was to say, is my plug going to be your plug, Hera? Where
I wanted to plug my mask game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll let you plug your masks game, though. Starting next week on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Yes, it's on Thursday, right, Scotty?
Thursday, yes.
Thursday, 7:30 or 7 o'clock. I can never remember with I. She changes it.
7:30, I think.
I think it's 7:30 as well. PM EST. We're starting a new campaign with our friend Aya Golander being the GM called Saffron Academy, where we're playing we're playing in the Bubblegum Shoe campaign with a magical system where everybody is in a magical school and we're all various degrees of magical or mythical creatures kind of stuff. Aya's whole goal with it is Harry Potter, but actually done by a decent human being.
Hooray.
So it'll be fun.
Burn.
Scotty will be there.
The school actually has bathrooms?
Yes.
Please.
If I ever get to guest there, I'll definitely, out of
Bring
spite,
Nyx.
make a trans character.
Oh, I thought you were gonna just bring Nyx. Because you
Oh
always
damn,
just bring
Nyx is
Nyx.
also really good. Oh my god.
And aside from that, normally after this, I'd have a D&D game. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling very well in terms of GMing. So it's on hold for now. But keep an eye out for that. It's fun. I'm running it. It's going to be a pirate-based game, or at least an ocean-based game. So I'll have 2 of those in a row. Because this one takes place in a normal D&D campaign, and this one that takes place in space. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
And that's all for me.
If you're watching on Twitch, Fractured Moon's Twitch
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
labeled down below.
Fractured Moon D&D.
Yep.
I went next.
Yeah.
Since we're already talking about Fractured Moon, because that's where Vex will also host my Masks game that I will start soon. We had some talks about that, like recently. Maybe we'll have another get-together tomorrow. I don't know yet. Depends on how I feel and stuff. And yeah, we're currently in the planning phase, world building, making characters and all that kind of stuff. I like to give that a bit of time. I think we'll probably start in September is like my rough idea, but it will be Sundays at
1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m.
1:30 p.m. Okay. Yeah, I'm bad with like converting time stuff.
That's why I tend to do it for you.
I was about to say, what are you, like,
Yeah,
8 to 10 hour difference? I'm trying to remember.
Six. Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have people's time zones memorized at this point.
Yeah, I'm really bad at that. And it'll be because you mentioned Saffron Academy. It will also be taking place at a school, but for superheroes instead, called Starfall Academy.
So like Sky High, but better.
Or
I
like
don't know what
X-Men.
Sky High is, but
It's a Disney movie that fetishizes fascism, but I won't get into that.
okay. I was about to say it's totally not My Hero Academia, but
It's more X-Men.
sure
Let's be
about
honest.
it's more
here.
X-Men. Yeah.
Okay,
it's a little
that's
bit,
good.
it's somewhere
conversion.
between X-Men and like My Hero Academia for anyone who's interested. Like that's where it's currently aiming for.
So private school, got it.
Private school on a
Not really a private school. No,
on an
private
it's a mutant school on an offshore island that's totally not Genosha.
Gotcha.
I mean, it is set in the North Sea and not. I think in Genosha is down at the coast of Africa somewhere near
Yeah,
Madagascar.
somewhere along that.
Oh, neat. Giant purple humanoid robots with yellow eyes. Weird.
Oh God, no.
Excellent.
Oh no! If there are evil robots that show up, they will definitely be like the fucking Sentinels from Days of Future Past, because those are fucking terrifying.
Yes,
and
they
I love
are.
them.
Oh yes.
I love them so much. They're so terrifying. They're
Mhm.
great.
Well, that
For
sounds
sure.
cool.
And it'll be fun. I'm playing in it too. So
Yeah. All right, that's it for me.
Anyone else?
Well, I know of at least 2 artists here that don't usually plug themselves.
I was gonna make the joke.
Okay.
I'll just do alts one, which is just follow and like Colliloquie's art. She does amazing art. Follow
Do it.
and then I'll do alt and I'll say follow alt at Altaziel, and I think Colliloquie yours is just at Colliloquie, right?
Yeah, but
Follow
actually,
them both.
I can
They're
actually
amazing.
plug myself this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could, but like it was like anyone else, and you both just shrugged.
you both had the most awkward look on your face. Like follow them both. They both do amazing art.
Yes.
It's kind of hard
I'm
to
writing
see.
spells.
It's kind of hard to see on the overlay, but both of them drew their own characters. And if you want to see their full characters, if you follow them on Twitter, you'll find it there.
Do it.
Yeah.
I also like to do other people's character art. If you've got a D&D character concept but don't know how to draw them, I'll make them cute.
Nice.
You will.
I have yet to see a piece of your art that wasn't a cute character, so that'll be
Ah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I'll plug myself then. All these the other illustrations that were hastily sketched the last minute were by me, and I also do commissions on Fiverr, but the link for that will be on my Twitter. And that's everything for me.
All right. Well,
All right.
that's it for today's adventure. Keep following us for the next time, and we'll see you later, Space Cowboys.
Bye.
Bye.